Hey guys, welcome to today's math lesson. We are actually starting a new module today. It's module 7. So the new packet that you guys got, it will say math module 7 on it. My cover ripped off of mine, but your first page will have these animals on it. Okay, so this module, we're going to kind of go kind of quickly through it. It's talking about classification of data, like so classifying data, making graphs, then we move on to money and time. So that is where we are headed. Okay, let me go ahead and share my video. Nope, not my video, my PowerPoint, my smartboard lesson. You guys are watching the video. Okay, so your I can statement today is I can categorize data. So what that means is when you categorize data is like you're looking at stuff, you're finding characteristics that are similar, you're kind of grouping things. So we will walk through a couple different ways of that we're going to group, and then we're going to kind of look at a graph today and answer some questions based on it. So let's go to our first slide here. So I have some data here that I collected, and I've classified animal characteristics. So we have birds, mammals, reptiles, and fish. So let's go ahead and read through the birds. So birds have feathers, wings, 2 legs, they lay eggs, and they're warm-blooded. Mammals have hair or fur. Usually the mother feeds their young milk. They give live births. They have lungs and they're warm-blooded. So humans are actually mammals, dogs, cats, they're mammals too. Then we have reptiles. They have scales, they have dry skin, they have 4 legs or no legs. They usually lay eggs and they're cold-blooded. And then we have fish that have scales, fins, gills, they lay eggs, and they're cold-blooded. So I've kind of grouped some characteristics about animals, and now we're going to kind of fill in this sentence. So looking at, obviously, our fish right here, because I've got a little picture of a little Nemo right there. Actually, that must be the dad, because normal size fin. Anyway, so looking at our fish right here, so I have some sentences here that are blank that we're going to fill in. So we're talking about a fish right now. What are 2 things that a fish has? So what we do is we look up here in this section, this category right here, and then we pull out 2 things that a fish has because we have 2 blanks. So a fish has blank and blank. What are some things that a fish has? Go ahead and pause the video. You pick 2 things that a fish has. I'm going to go with the first 2 right here. I'm going to say scales and fins. So a fish has scales and fins. What can a fish? It can blank. What can a fish do? It can blank. Can we say it can gills or it can cold-blooded? Does that really make sense? No, but what can it do? It can lay eggs. It can lay eggs. It is blank. What can we say about it? It is cold-blooded. So right here, I can answer these sentences. I can fill in these blanks just by looking at this data that was collected about fish. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing today, is answering questions about data that has been collected. Now, we can also classify animals. So we can look at things knowing, going back to our list here, we can then classify animals based on if they're a bird, a mammal, a reptile, or fish. So we're going to kind of create our own little chart here, and we're going to kind of keep track of how many of these pictures down here fit into these categories. So let's look at our first one here, a penguin. Is that a bird, a mammal, a reptile, or a fish? Let's go back and look. Feathers, wings, 2 legs, lays eggs, warm-blooded. It could be a bird. Hair or fur, mother feeds their young milk, live birth, lungs, warm-blooded. Well, I know that it's definitely not a fish, and I know that it is definitely not a reptile. So it's between these bird and the mammal here, and here it says it gives mammals give live births, but I know that penguins lay eggs. So I'm going to say this penguin right here, I'm going to cross them off so I know I've talked about them, is a bird. So I'm just going to make tally marks. Right here, it's a clownfish. So it basically tells us in the name what it is. So that's a fish. Let's cross that one off. Polar bear. The polar bear's thick coat of insulated fur protects against the Arctic cold, which tells me that its body temperature does not adjust to the weather. So it has to be warm-blooded. So it either has to be a bird or a mammal. Which one do you think it is? Does it have feathers or does it have hair or fur? It has hair or fur, so it is a mammal. Make my tally mark there, cross off the polar bear. Then we have an Arctic fox. The female Arctic fox can give birth to a litter of up to 14 pups, which means here it talks about they give live births. So if we go back and look at our characteristics, which one gives live births? Mammals. So that's another one for a mammal. Now we are doing tally marks. So it means I just do my lines, my tallies like this. And reminder, we do 1, 2, 3, 4. When we get to our 5th one, we close the gate. Okay, and that's how you know, like when you see it like that, when the gate is closed, that's a group of 5. So then we just count by 5s. Okay, so Arctic fox, cha-ching, done. Ooh, barn owl. The barn owl usually lays 4 to 7 eggs at a time. So what is it? Is this a bird, mammal, reptile, or fish? It's got feathers and it lays eggs, so it is a bird. So far, which one have we seen the least? Reptiles. Let's see if that changes. Oh boy. So barn animal, barn owl, done. The rough green snake. Rough green snake lays 4 to 12 sticky eggs under a flat stone or log. Now, is this a bird, mammal, reptile, or a fish? Remember, a reptile can have 4 legs or no legs, and this one definitely has no legs. So it is going to be a reptile. All right, and we have a seahorse. Male seahorses carry eggs in brood pouches. They swim using small fins on their backs. So it talks about having a fin, so we're going to classify that as a fish. Bottlenose dolphin. This one's a little tough. Dolphins have lungs. They breathe air through a blowhole at the top of the head. Some people think that a dolphin is a fish, but actually it is a mammal because it gives live births. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. Let's cross that one off. So which one is in the lead now? Which one has the most? Mammals. Which one has the least? Reptiles. Okay, rabbit. Mother rabbits feed their babies milk once or twice a day. What is that going to be? Is it going to be a bird, a mammal, a reptile, or a fish? It is a mammal. Then we have the leopard gecko. The leopard geckos are cold-blooded and absorb sunlight for warmth. What is the leopard gecko? It is a reptile. And crazy fact, my son Wesley actually has a leopard gecko. So gross. He keeps it at grandma's house. Okay, next one, green iguana. Green iguana often live in trees but come to the ground to lay eggs. Is this green iguana a reptile, a bird, a mammal, or a fish? It is a reptile. All right, last one. Brown bear. Brown bear mothers give birth to cubs during hibernation. They don't even have to wake up. That's crazy. I did not know that. Let's cross that one off. Is it a bird, a mammal, a reptile, or a fish? It is a mammal. And look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 tally marks here. So let's go ahead and close that gate. Okay. So that's one way where we can collect data, is we can make a graph using tally marks. The reason why I showed you guys this is because you're going to be looking at or kind of creating a graph or a chart just like this using tally marks. So let's go ahead and pull out your problem set. And there's actually 2 pages. There's this one front and back, and then this second page here that's problem set 1. We're not going to do that second page. We're just going to do this front and back of this math page here. That's a lot. And it's Memorial Day weekend. Okay, so here it says count and categorize each picture to complete the table with tally marks. So remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we close that gate, okay? So you're looking for animals that have no legs, 2 legs, and 4 legs. So what I would do if I were you, I would start in one section, look for animals that have no legs, cross it off, and then do your tally mark, okay? And then just keep going until all of your animals are crossed off. It's the same thing for both of those tables, but the bottom table, instead of using tally marks, it wants you to use numbers. So you go ahead and you can do tally marks up above and then count how many you have here. It's up to you, however you want to do that, okay? The second page of your, the back of it, of your problem set, actually has a chart already created for you. Then you just have to answer some of the questions on the chart. So I'm going to kind of help you with a couple of the questions to kind of point you in the right direction. I will actually do one of the questions with you guys together, and then that will be it for our math lesson today. We're going to do a race problem too with our new race packet. But then that's all you'll have today. And we don't actually have school on Monday, so you get a nice long 3-day weekend. Okay, so the directions say use the animal habitats table to answer the following questions. So we must know how many animals have habitats on grasslands and wetlands. So this word "and" here lets me know that I'm going to add those together. So I'm going to look for the grasslands, and then I'm going to look for the wetlands. So wetlands and grasslands, and then I'm going to add those 2 numbers together to find my answer. Now remember, when you see the gate close, so it can either go this way or it can go this way. I guess it probably just depends which way is more comfortable. Either way, the gate is closed either way. Remember, count by 5, so it'd be like right here, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so what you do is you would just add those numbers together. And what I would like to see you guys do is actually write out your number sentence down below. If you need to come over to the side to stack it up, go ahead and do that. The next one says, how many fewer, oh, that's a keyword right there, fewer. I know when I see the word fewer, I'm going to subtract. How many fewer animals have forest habitats, so I'm looking for the forest habitats, than grassland habitats? Now remember, look at the forest habitat here and look at the grassland habitat. Can I start my number sentence with the forest and then take away the grasslands? No, because look at which one has a greater amount, the grassland. So when you subtract, you always need to start with your larger number. They were trying to confuse you here by having the words in a different order, but remember, always start with your larger number. So letter C is a little difficult, so I'm going to help you guys with this one. So make sure you have a pencil handy. If you need to pause the video, go ahead and then come right back. Okay, says how many more animals would need to be in the forest category, so I'm looking for the forest category, to have the same number as animals in the grasslands. So first thing I need to do is I need to find the difference. So the grasslands has 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that has 14. I need to figure out how many more the grassland has. And then the forest has got 5, 6. So 14 minus 6. Now, here's what some of you are going to want to do. When you see the problem stacked up like this, you're going to know like, oh, more on the floor, go next door and get 10 more. But guess what your 4 turns into? A 14 again. So what we're going to do is just going to grab our 14 and count backwards 6 times. Ready? 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. So our answer here is going to be 8. So how many more animals would need to be in the forest category to have the same number as animals in the grasslands? How many do I need to have? 8. I need to have 8 there. Yes. Okay. And then here, how many total animal habitats were used to create this table? Now, listen, they're not asking you how many total animals. They're asking you how many total habitats. That's going to be the biggest hint I give you, okay? Not the total number of animals, but the total number of habitats, okay? All right, guys, this is it for our math lesson. Come back and watch our race lesson if you did the math one first. If you are done with the race lesson for the day and you're now done with math, have a fantastic Memorial Day weekend, guys. Enjoy Monday, spend time with family, get outside, all right? I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I'll talk to you later. Bye.